Hi, it's Tessa Presto again, talking about happiness. So, this is part three of my series on the happiness hour, where I got a little curious and interested in happiness and asking the question of how to get more of it, how to get more happy. So, uh, today's I'm talking about Gretchen Rubin and her happiness project. So I had seen that book before, and I even have been getting emails. I must have signed up for it, but it was kind of funny because I don't think I really ever read anything about really what the project was. I was just kind of getting these tips and these emails for a while, and it turns out, you know, she already did this. She wrote a book, so it was kind of funny. She was really looking at the same thing I was. I guess she was on a bus one day and was thinking about it. And so, I mean, here, I got my little 4 or 5 part series going on Facebook. I've been studying it for an hour a day, and it just cracked me up because I, I I go to the library, I get some books, and here I'm reading this, and this woman, she she already wrote a book about it. She has been blogging about it. I went to her blog. She's been blogging about it since I think maybe the first one was 2008. So before I forget, you gotta check out her blog. It's really good. It's got a lot of good stuff on it. She's just not writing about how to be happy. I really enjoyed reading her things. Now, I did not read this whole book, but I'm going to because I like it. I'm going to tell you what the book's about. But what she did was she decided that she did all kinds of research, like way more than I'm doing with my 4 or 5 books. I mean, she researched philosophers, religion, psychologists, self-help gurus. I mean, fiction. She got her hands on everything you could imagine about happiness. I just, kind of like, just dipping, dipping my toe in the water here. But she was very thorough in it, and she did decide after all the research that it was definitely possible to increase happiness within a certain range. And I'll tell you more about what she found on that. But that uh, it was she actually asked, like, is it real, is there happiness? And yes, there is. And she set to define it, and she kind of stopped quickly and just said, oh yeah, I know when I'm happy. And I think we all pretty much know when we're happy. So what she did is she kind of had this process where she took she looked at what she kind of really wanted, what would make her happy, and she said about these different resolutions, and then each month of a whole entire year she focused on a different resolution in a different area of her life. So she had marriage one month, and spirituality another month, and parenting and friendships and health, all of that. And so she just really focused on different habits and just trying to improve happiness in that area each month. And so she wrote a book about it. She blogged about it before she wrote the book. And I didn't really get into each chapter. I kind of cheated and read the beginning. And then I was like, okay, well, how do you do it? Give me the answers. And she does have something she says about it. So first, I did want to say this was interesting. After all of her research, she said that happiness is 50% in your genetics. So you're basically kind of born just having a certain range to your level of happiness or how you feel it. So that was kind of interesting. And then 10 to 20% would be circumstances, such as even your gender and your ethnicity, your spiritual beliefs, all kinds of things like that. And then that left 30 to 40% would be based on how a person thinks about things and what they say and what they do. And so then basically you had an inborn disposition, and then within that, you have this range that could be boosted or it could be pushed down based on circumstances, experiences, and how you think and act. So she went through all that, which I don't have details yet, but you could read the book too. I think it's going to be a good read. It's really about her personal journey, and that's a point she makes, that everybody's personal journey to happiness is going to be different. It really has to be based on you. So you have to first answer the question, well, what makes me happy? What makes me sad? What do I like? What do I dislike? So that's really kind of the first step. What makes me feel good? And then you identify different areas of your life where you want to focus it. You make the resolutions and you figure out a way to keep yourself accountable. You figure out a way maybe to have support. You figure out a way to measure your success at doing it. And voila, if you were able to do it, you're happier. And so for her personally, what she realized was that for her, that she got a boost in her happiness as a result of having more control in her life. So for her, it was being able to choose what she wanted to do when and how she spent her time, that every time she was able to do that, she actually had a major boost in happiness. And so she really had that by the end of the year. And even though the last month she spent trying to do this I think she called it like boot camp perfection, which is kind of interesting. But let me see. And she tried to put everything together from the 11 months. And she said she pretty much failed every day at it. But she still got so much out of it. And it was still, everything in her life was in way better control than it had ever been. Yeah, it was called Boot Camp Perfect Happiness. And so even though she failed at it, it was still so much better because she had all these ideas and habits that she had developed. So she knew how to fix a feeling if she were feeling frustrated or losing her patience with her kids, or nagging. So all those were things she was trying to kind of eliminate or change. And then she even went a little farther to say that the resolutions, in sticking to the resolutions, is what made her happy. So actually getting stuff done, basically, and that her resolutions, she said, were her conscience. So I actually found all that really interesting. There's a lot more to it. I'm just really kind of summing it up, but I would recommend checking it out. And she does. She has, in her blog, she's got all kinds of information on, more specific. So how to be happy at work and all kinds of other stuff. But she did sum up these 4 splendid truths. And that's what I want to share with you, these, that hopefully you can get something out of these. And a lot of them are things that we've heard before. Happiness has been talked about a lot. But these were her 4 splendid truths that she said. So to be happier, you have to think about feeling good, feeling bad, and feeling right in an atmosphere of growth. So let that one sink in a little bit. That was one I had to sit and really look at. So in an atmosphere of growth, and to identify feeling good, feeling bad, and feeling right. And when she says feeling right, she's not talking about, I was right, you were wrong. She's feeling about it feeling right, like your choice is feeling right. Her second splendid truth, which is, I think we sort of essentially know, is, the best way to be happy is to make other people happy, and the best way to make other people happy is to be happy yourself. And then this is a quote I've actually seen of hers before, tossed around on Facebook, which is, days are long, but years are short, which, that really, it does make you think about really wanting to be happy in those short years and in those long days. I personally think days are short and years are short, like weeks are short, everything's short now. And then her last Splendid Truth is you're not happy unless you think you're happy. And another way of saying that would be you're happy if you think you're happy. So basically, in her mind, which I would agree, happiness it's so much the same thing. You know, it's this word, we all know what it is, but we would all find it and define it in different ways. So the author that I talked about yesterday, who said the way to find happiness is by not trying to find happiness and just focus on other things, you know, that's actually one of the authors, researchers that she studied, Gretchen Rubin, and it's kind of the same thing, because even though she made a point to say it's not selfish, which I appreciate because I felt a little selfish yesterday in this project, but she said that it's these other things that she was doing. So, you know, the word happy was not in everything. It was just in these areas, and it was specific things that, you know, that she could do every day. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up, and I have one other author that I've already read, so I will be back tomorrow to talk about that, and then I'm going to take the fifth day to just give my own thoughts about it and sum it up and just share with you what I think, and share some good ideas, because I can't help it as I think it, you know, to kind of personalize it and then share. So anyway, thank you for listening, and I hope that it was helpful. And you know, if you found it helpful, I just drop a comment. I haven't really been able to look at the comments till afterward because I'm blind as a bat. As you can probably tell, I can't see. So I can see that there's commenting, but the phone's far enough away. I really can't read what you're saying or who it is. I'd have to just really lean in. So anyway, as soon as I actually am finished, I've been going back to the comments and saying hello and, you know, talking to you guys. So anyway, it's really cool to see that you've hopped on. I just can't see who you are until I say goodbye. So anyway, thanks for listening, and look for some more information about the Happiness Hour tomorrow. Thank you.